Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Buckle up because today's story is about one of the most discussed topics in the NFL right now, Tyreek Hill. Yes, the dynamic wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins. The guy who's been lighting up defenses all season long with his blazing speed, incredible agility, and game-changing plays. But as we speak, there are whispers around the league, whispers that have NFL insiders buzzing, and those whispers hint at something that could shake up the AFC North, the Dolphins, and maybe even the entire league. And what is it? Well, it's the possibility that Tyreek Hill might be on the move. That's right, folks. Despite his explosiveness, his ability to stretch defenses vertically, and his undeniable impact on the game, there are sources close to the Dolphins suggesting that the team might be considering trading him. Now, I know what you're thinking, why would Miami want to trade such a weapon? Well, that's exactly what makes this story so intriguing, so unpredictable. To understand the potential magnitude of this move, we need to look at what Tyreek Hill represents for the Dolphins. Since joining the team, he's been undeniably one of the most electrifying receivers in the league. His ability to make explosive plays, whether it's a deep route down the sideline or a quick slant to turn into a big gain, has consistently put Miami in scoring position. His speed, which is often measured as one of the fastest players in the NFL, makes him a nightmare for defenses, especially when paired with Tua Tagovailoa, who's been able to capitalize on those big plays. Hill's presence on the field demands constant attention from defenses, often opening up opportunities for other receivers and the running game. But, as with any high-profile player, his value is not only measured by his on-field production, but also by what the team can get in return. That's where the speculation about a trade comes into focus. NFL insiders have been discussing different scenarios, and one thing is clear: if the Dolphins decide to move on from Hill, they're going to want a significant haul in return. Most analysts agree that Miami would be looking for draft picks, perhaps multiple first-round choices or high-value picks in later rounds, to help rebuild or strengthen their roster. The idea is that they could target future assets, maybe even young players to develop, as part of a broader strategy to build a more balanced team. The question is, though, what would a trade for Hill look like? Would it be a straight-up exchange, or would it involve multiple picks and maybe even a player or two? The league chatter suggests that Miami is weighing their options carefully, trying to maximize their return while managing their current roster's needs. Now, you might be wondering, what's the motivation behind such a move? Well, teams often consider trading star players if they feel that the assets they could acquire in return will help them in the long run. It could be about cap space, roster flexibility, or even a shift in team philosophy. For Miami, perhaps they see a future where they can develop younger receivers or draft another explosive player to fill Hill's role, especially considering the high cost of keeping such a player long-term. Or maybe they're looking at a strategic rebuild, where they prioritize draft capital to build a more sustainable contender. Whatever the reason, the fact remains that Hill's future in Miami is uncertain right now, and this has fans and analysts alike speculating about what could be next. But let's take a step back and analyze what this could mean for the AFC North, especially for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are a team that's been quietly building a solid core, focusing on their defense, and looking for offensive weapons that can complement their established stars. The division is fiercely competitive, with teams like Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and yes, the Dolphins in the mix. If Hill were to leave Miami, it could mean a few different things. For one, it might weaken the Dolphins' offense, which has been quite potent this season. That could open the door for other teams to climb higher in the standings, or even change the dynamic of the division. On the flip side, if Hill is traded and ends up in a different team, say a contender or a team looking to make a splash, the AFC North could see a shift in the balance of power. For the Steelers, this kind of movement is both a challenge and an opportunity. It's a challenge because the division is always tough, and any change in the league's landscape can ripple through the standings. But it's also an opportunity because the Steelers can take advantage of these shifts, maybe by focusing even more on their strengths, like their formidable defense or developing young offensive talent. You see, the Steelers have been steadily improving, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Their linebacker core, for example, has been one of the best in the league, with players like T.J. Watt leading the charge. Watt's health and performance are always a key factor for the Steelers' success, and when he's at his best, the entire defense tends to elevate their game. The Steelers have also been investing in their secondary, with young players stepping up and making crucial plays. Offensively, they've been looking for stability at the quarterback position, and while they might not have a superstar receiver like Hill, they've been working to develop their offensive line and running game to support their QB. Now, returning to the wider league picture, the possible trade of Tyreek Hill is adding a layer of intrigue to the upcoming offseason. It's not just about Miami, it's about how teams are positioning themselves for the future, how they're valuing their assets, and how they see their road to Super Bowl glory. The NFL is a league of constant change, and moves like these can have ripple effects that last for years. For the Steelers, staying alert and ready to capitalize on these shifts is part of their game plan. They are always looking to improve, to find that missing piece that can push them over the top. And who knows? Maybe a trade like this, if it happens, could open a window for Pittsburgh to strengthen their roster even further. But of course, at this point, all of this remains in the realm of speculation. No official decision has been made by Miami, and Hill himself has not publicly indicated any plans to leave or stay. That's the nature of these negotiations. Things can change rapidly. As of now, the focus remains on the upcoming games, on how the Dolphins will manage this uncertainty, and on how the rest of the league is watching every move closely. Fans are eager, analysts are dissecting every rumor, and teams are preparing for the possibility that they might need to adjust their strategies based on what happens with Hill. What's clear, though, is that Tyreek Hill's market value is sky-high. His speed and playmaking ability make him one of the most coveted offensive weapons in the league. If he does get traded, it could set off a chain reaction of roster moves, draft picks, and strategic shifts across multiple teams. For the Steelers, watching these developments is essential because it could influence their approach in free agency, trades, and draft planning. The AFC North is always a battleground, and any move that reshuffles the deck could be the difference between making the playoffs or sitting on the sidelines. So, as we keep an eye on this story unfolding, remember that the NFL offseason is often the most unpredictable time of the year. Rumors swirl, stars are moved, and teams position themselves for championship runs. For Steelers fans, this is a reminder that we need to stay vigilant, stay optimistic, and keep supporting our team through thick and thin. No matter what happens with Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins, the Steelers are building something special, and every move in the league plays a part in shaping the future of our beloved franchise. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you think the Dolphins should hold on to Hill or trade him? Would you like to see Pittsburgh make a move if Hill were to become available? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Steelers!